So on the left-hand side, we'll go to subnets, and we're going to create our two subnets. So on the right-hand side, you have create subnet, and we're going to create two subnets, and we will say this particular subnet is supposed to be created inside our DevOps VPC. So we need to select where we want to create it. And this is the boundary we have. So we cannot have something outside this scope. So I want us to call the first VPC, the first subnet, DevOps subnet 1. So DevOps dash subnet maybe 1. The reason why I did this is because I want normally when you're creating subnet, you want to make sure that it is easy to understand. So how? Because if I'm saying DevOps, technically, this is just my own naming scheme. It's just trying to remind me that there is a region called DevOps. You could do it anyway, but it has to be descriptive enough for any other person within your team to understand. Normally, this is something that the team will decide on at the initial stages. So I'm calling it DevOps dash subnet dash 1. And as I mentioned earlier on, for VPCs, it is a regional resource, so you select the region, and because we were working in this region, our subnet will be inside a particular availability zone which falls under this particular region. So if I click down, you realize that they are all starting with Stockholm, Stockholm, Stockholm. The reason is that the VPC is in Stockholm. So there's no way a subnet which is supposed to be inside the VPC will be outside Stockholm, because the VPC is a regional resource. So if you look here, we have 3 different availability zones within, say, our Stockholm region. So I'm going to select the first one, which is EU North 1A, and then I'll choose a CIDR block that forms part of the first, say maybe the CIDR block that would fall within the 10.0 and the 10.0.255.255.